Welcome to Clash of the Empires.
In today's episode, we will be comparing the Tang Dynasty and the Umayyad Caliphate. We will be closely examining parts of their daily lives and culture to determine which empire is the mightiest.
Let's head on over to the battle scene.
Fight! Test your might. Fight!
So I'll be representing the Umayyad Caliphate. Socially, they kept the Muslims and non-Muslims apart, and they didn't force the people into a religion that they didn't believe in, so they kept the people happy. And the government was happy because then they got tax money out of it. So it was basically a win-win situation. The women were also happy because they were treated more equally, and they were also tolerant with many religions. So with all these good points, the Umayyad has a strong standing.
So today I'm going to be representing the Tang Dynasty, which lasted for a good 289 years. In society, we wanted a uniform Chinese culture, which was why we forced everyone to assimilate to us and our ways. Also in society, Confucianism was a very popular belief system.
Fight!
Politically, they had theocracy, and they were Muslim warrior elite. Now let's listen to my competitor.
Politically, they had a government centered around the imperial family and bureaucracy, which was based on meritocracy. We also had a scholar gentry elite that was very educated, talented, and loyal.
Fight!
We also had a diverse background in religion. In our dynasty, we had many belief systems such as Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, and ancestor worship.
The people was also happy with their religion because they weren't forced into a religion that they didn't believe in, and the women had more equal rights because of the Quran, and Arabic was the common language.
Aww.
Economically, the Tang were also very strong. We had some large trading and commerce industries. We also had major advancements such as junks, canals, flying money, and markets.
The Umayyad economy was dominant in trade as it was global, and because of this, it linked many places together. The roads used for trade was very well built, and because of the Quran, they didn't want to sin, so their trade was very fair.
In the Umayyad Caliphate, the society was content because of the amount of freedom they had. The government also had nothing to complain about because they had lots of tax money. Women also had more rights than most other places at the time. While in the Tang Dynasty, people weren't as content because everyone was forced to assimilate to a single culture. In addition to this, Confucianism was a popular belief system, so the Tang Dynasty was very organized and strict. Comparing these two, the Umayyad came out on top because if people are more content, there would be less riots and conflicts, and naturally there would be more organization. While the Tang Dynasty was more organized than the Umayyads didn't have to enforce the organization. In the Tang Dynasty, they had a bureaucracy that was centered around the imperial family, so only people born into the family could be part of the government. Of course, there were some exceptions. People outside of the family could become part of the government by a meritocracy, which almost guaranteed the competence. They also had a scholar gentry elite, a very educated and loyal group. The Umayyad Caliphate also had a bureaucracy. It wasn't as strict as the Tang dynasty with the imperial family and the meritocracy. They also had Muslim warrior elites, so it had a very strong military. Comparing these two empires politically, they both had a bureaucracy, but with a major difference. In the Tang, they are based on the imperial family and meritocracy. This made the government stronger and had more educated people in the ranks. Therefore, politically, the Tang dynasty reigns over the Umayyad Caliphate. Religiously, these two empires were pretty similar. Even though the Tang dynasty forced their people into their culture, they had many belief systems and religions to choose from. On the other hand, the Umayyad didn't force their people into their culture. Instead, they kept the Muslims and non-Muslims apart. So in both empires, they had a diverse cultural background. Therefore, this was a tie. Even though the Tang dynasty had a very developed agricultural system, it took quite a bit of work to get food. This also kept their culture very limited, whereas in the Umayyad Caliphate, they had a lot of trade, enough trade to have a steady stream of food, delicacies, and various other things. This made them more diverse and helped them develop. Therefore, the Umayyad won economically.
In the end, the Umayyad Caliphate was superior to the Tang dynasty.
Despite the Tang dynasty's political success, it couldn't live up to the Umayyads' economical and societal achievement.
That concludes this episode of Clash of the Empires. See you guys next time.
Bye!